So I will try to speed up. Okay, so this is Dasharo Roadmap. I believe like most of you should look at slides and then maybe read some of that stuff. So first thing about this Dasharo Roadmap is Dasharo Community Support Roadmap, where we will try to present what we plan to do for community. Of course, this is very long, and this is for a long period, very long plans. Many things can change, so there is no guarantees related to that roadmap. Yeah. So what kind of support levels Dasharo provide? So essentially, Dasharo provide 3 levels of support. First is Dasharo community support, which is kind of, we're doing that from margins, from donations, from various, like if we get grant from NLNet, for example, we're doing this Dasharo community support using those resources. It also contains support for people that contributing to Dasharo, so others like externally to 3MDEP also build that program. So second program is a Dasharo support package, and this is program regular business commercial offer for our business partners, and we do annual contracts based on that. And this is typical firmware maintenance, keeping up to close to upstream, making releases, doing new integration, bug fixes, and so on. And there is also Dasharo Enterprise package, which is custom service level agreement dedicated to big corporations and relying on aligning open and proprietary roadmap and providing advisory for big corporation to do that. So the process for Dasharo community support, because like we see some people coming to us and asking, can I enable this platform in Dasharo? Can I enable that platform in Dasharo? So we have process for that. This process consists of, we can say, 4 main steps and then release. First step is discovery, which consists of some hardware proposition from users or from us. Then we're doing some analysis of the alternative options for that hardware. We look at the value analysis for like what value this hardware will bring to community, will bring to Dasharo, how it will evolve Dasharo, and what kind of community interest is there, and if, for example, we can hope for future donation or future interest and long-term maintenance of that hardware. Then we do evaluation, which typically start with BIOS backup, vendor BIOS backup, if this is platform that coming off the shelf. Then we're trying to create some recovery method for given main board, just to have a stable development environment. We put together hardware compatibility list report, which is kind of dump all possible logs, so we have all details about the hardware for the porting purposes. And we agree on some static hardware configuration, what kind of processor, what kind of memory, maybe what kind of GPU, and we trying to build the same builds across people, so they can use the same thing during the porting and not some variety which can cause additional problems. Then we have porting phase, when we create something like building manual, which you can find in Dasharo Universe documentation. Initial deployment, what you have to do if you buy new mainboard, how you need to prepare it for initial deployment of Dasharo. Test matrix is a, we can say, test case definition or test scope, which you can also find in our documentation. And then there is detailed documentation about various features enabling and so on. Then there is validation stage. After porting, after having some binary working, some release candidate that we can flash on mainboard and boot, we're creating hardware compatibility list, because we can switch processors, we can switch memory, we can switch GPU to check if those work. Of course, this is limited to what we have and to what community already have and can test. There is transparent validation, so this is a process of automatically validating the hardware and providing results to the community. Of course, we updating test matrix in this case, maybe we extending, we shrinking this test matrix. And there is also something like Dasharo certification program, which we kind of apply to hold this process to build binary that can be shipped to community. And there are 2 ways to ship binaries to community. There are public releases, which we call community releases. And this is for everyone. Like those are publicly available binaries. Source code is always public, and this is like something that everyone can get. And there are also supporter releases. The plan for community releases is like to have like one a year or something like that, maybe with some hotfixes. But supporter releases are for those who paying donation, those who bought Dasharo supporter entrance subscription. Those releases are should be more frequent and will be delivered for active supporters. Okay, about the roadmaps. So first roadmap is about emulation path. So we plan to enable Dasharo based on the OVFM UEFI package. We extend this package with Dasharo system features, with some UEFI secure boots improvements which we have. And we also enable UEFI payload package features, which are not yet enabled in OVFM. We plan to finish porting in Q1. In Q2, we will start validation. Our target is Ubuntu LTS. We hope to enable open source firmware validation scripts, which we have public on Dasharo GitHub. So we can automatically validate this QEMU, and then in Q3 we hope we will release. Unfortunately, we base on quite old version of EDK2, but we're working on improving that, and I hope in the next Dasharo user group I will tell you that yes, we fixed that. Why we're doing that? Because we want to create Dasharo developers guide, which will give ability to move forward development of Dasharo just by using emulation, not having real hardware. In case of desktops, we have 3 vendors that we support or plan to support. So Dell with first platform is OptiPlex 7010. It's quite old platform, but we like it very much. It's reasonably cheap and still you can squeeze some performance from it. The point of it is it's to finally release that, because we have this code for some time. It would be in Q2. There will be core boot 4.17 used for that. IPXE 2022-01 and our old EDK2 fork that we have in Dasharo. The target operating system, at least from my perspective right now, is XCP-ng 8.2 long-term stable, because we plan to use this as a XCP-ng platform and maybe experiment with some XCP-ng features, maybe improve platform for that, and so on. The second platform will be NAS target, network attached storage target, Precision T1650, where we plan to port Dasharo system features, some secure boot improvements. The important thing is that the target OS is TrueNAS Core 13 for that platform. Of course, we will have ECC support for that, so we will have to validate that. And the target core boot version is 4.19. MSI. So I believe many of you heard about CubesOS certification of MSI platform and heard about our releases of MSI Z690A. So in Q1 we had a release where we support CubesOS 4.1.2, and there is also early DMA protection for that. We expanded GPU hardware compatibility list for that. We enabled SATA hot plug, and there were many more fixes which you can read about on our blog. Then we plan to start validation phase of version 1.1.2 in next quarter. The support will be Raptor Lake S CPU. We hope to enable Flash BIOS, which is like a recovery proprietary recovery method for these boards. We hope to have support for that, and we also would like to support Windows 11 software and drivers from MSI. The release is planned in Q3, and it will most likely be based on core boot 4.18. Then this would be supporters release, and the community release will follow in Q4. The other platform that we plan to support, which we're waiting for NLNet grant application approval right now, is Z790P. and we just sent grant. We're waiting for the approval, and the schedule will be that porting will start in Q3, then validation Q4, and then release in Q1. Or although it is possible that we will squeeze that and it would be way faster, depending on our busyness and on our workload. Then there is some plan on supporting Asus Pro WSX570 Ace, and this is project driven by Han Etzer on Dasharo Matrix community. This would be potentially first platform which we will support AMD AM4 socket, and we will see how this will go. Right now, we aiming to get stable serial port support to be able to even realize if this is feasible. In case of workstations, some of you are definitely interested in KGP D16. We see that in number of searches of this term and how many people ask that on Matrix and on GitHub. We plan in Q2 look at all the community reported bugs, scope those, and see what we can fix. And we would like to prepare Debian 11 and Ubuntu LTS validation. And hopefully Q3 we will release core boot based on 4.14 with CBIOS 1.14, and yeah, so that's the target. In case of Power 9 support, Raptor Computing System Talos 2, we right now validating very actively. We're checking TPM compatibility. We're trying to enable heads and check all the features in heads. I'm not sure if we'll be able to finish that by end of Q2, but who knows? Like we trying to do that. But our target right now is to have release in Q3, which will be based on core boot 4.17 and ski boot 6.3. In case of a server line, it would be X11 SSH-TF, which is not very actively maintained right now in core boot. So we plan to add some features from us and improve this mainboard, this server mainboard. So we think the porting will take even to the end of Q2, and then we plan to extend support for server platforms, BMC-based server platforms in our validation lab, and the target operating systems will be XCP and GLTS and Debian 11. And this release will probably happen in Q4. Okay, so just final note. Okay, you maybe see that this roadmap is very long. Like it's even up to the Q1 2024. You can help us speed up things. It's quite easy. You're going to our shop and you're just buying the Dasharo supporters entrance and just like telling us what kind of platform you would like to support with that, and we will subscribe you, and you will have early access to all the stuff we're doing. You can also influence the roadmap through direct communication with us. You can help also through contributing source code, contributing documentation, contributing test results, improving tools. Just join on GitHub and help us improve the ecosystem. You can help us by spreading the word about Dasharo and our mission on social media. It's also always very helpful to have a bigger reach and bigger audience which listen what we want to do. You can donate money or cryptocurrencies. How to do that you can find on docs.dasharo.com ways you can help us, or you can just contact us if you see other ways of supporting us or working with us. Just send us email contact@dasharo.com, and we would be glad to talk with you. Okay, any questions? Yeah. So that's not that's question that we're getting a lot. So that's discussion in the discovery phase. If you have proposal of such hardware, come to Matrix and just let us know what kind of hardware you think of. If we would know volumes of every possible ODM, then we could think about, okay, this platform seems to be very good, seems to have very high volumes, and there will be good community around it. And yeah, in that case, yes, we would be glad to support that. But it's like very generic question: how to find cheap, high volume, good platform that will work for community. Mhm. Yes, so that's essentially the problem. It's not exactly clear how to deploy things. So Dasharo got certain quality standards about the documentation, and that's definitely one thing that we plan to deliver. The other thing is Dasharo system features, which are some security features and some detailed feature which Michał Żygowski Miczyk will talk about in his presentation. We have some UEFI secure boot improvements which would like to introduce there, and various other stuff like IPMI, serial over LAN support, IKVM keyboard support, and this kind of stuff. I don't think we will do like tremendous amount of coding here, but it still takes time. It's not like we will sit 6 months here or 3 months and code all the time. We will just do that in our free time. But it will take time. Then when we will have some code base, we will have to validate that, and that's also taking time, setting up that in the lab and running all the tests we have. And that's it. Like there is not much innovation here, but we just want to have modern binary with good documentation and easy adoption.
Okay, we've got one more question. For crowdfunding, can you give us an estimate on porting a new motherboard, X6090 or AM45? I know it depends, but if it's possible.
No, it's very hard to say. We would have to talk about this directly. Like, it's definitely not 15,000 euro. It's bigger.